Congratulations everyone, we have finally graduated from Clown University. We failed a couple classes, had to retake some more, but overall we are actually here. It's hard to believe, I know. Final Fantasy 16 had its re-reveal during the PlayStation State of Play last night. If you want to see my reaction to Yoshi P jump scaring the shit out of me, the Final Fantasy 16 reaction video is here on the top right and pinned in the comments below. June is going to be an insane month for Final Fantasy and gaming in general, guys. We got you all covered on all of that. So make sure you're subscribed, notification bells are rung. You don't want to miss out on any of this stuff we got coming your way. I'll be streaming all the events, breaking down all the trailers, and of course giving you all the news updates. Now without further ado, let's break down this trailer. For the sake of consistency, this video is going to focus on breaking down the big story elements of the trailer. We're going to have a separate video for the battle mechanics recorded later today and completely separate from this video because there is a lot going on in here and I don't want to jump back and forth confusing you guys and sounding like we're jump cutting all the time. First things first, we have a likely mature 17+ rating, meaning this game will be the first mainline Final Fantasy game with an M rating. Final Fantasy Type 0 is rated M, and so is Stranger of Paradise, but both of these games are not mainline titles. It's no secret because of the amount of blood shown in the initial trailer of Final Fantasy 16 from 2 years ago. It's not official, but it's very likely it's rated M. We all could have guessed that, I mean, come on. We learned from the first few lines from the current narrator, which by the way guys, narrators are constantly changing throughout this trailer, so keep that in mind. We hear that being a dominant housing a icon summon inside of them wears away at the user's very being and it slowly breaks them down. We also get an up-close internal shot of a dominant's inside to see just how much transforming into an icon affects them. Their insides actually go blue, as Garuda, Ifrit, Bahamut, and Titan are shown to us on the screen. Jill and Clive are having a conversation about a war coming. The pose that Clive is doing here is a direct callback to Final Fantasy VIII. Shoutouts to Fish Fried Cat for finding the photo and posting it online. What we see here, Squall and Quistis are in a similar pose, staring into the sky after the Seed mission. Joshua and Clive's father, the Archduke, has a full shot of his face, and seems to have been improved on since the last 2 years. Essentially everybody has. He mentions that delaying their plans brings them closer to a disaster. Future Clive is shown to us having a battle with an Imperial Lancer, and here is where we get a first look at the game's battle HUD. And I know we're not talking about battle stuff, but I felt like this needed to be mentioned. When we're looking at the game's HUD at the moment, I know a lot of people, including myself, have comments on it, but with this game being out in summer 2023, I expect the HUD and UI to go through some massive overhauls. Similar to how Guilty Gear Strive changed its HUD almost 4 times between betas, or how Dragon Ball FighterZ added things to their HUDs in Season 2. I know these are fighting games as examples, but they seem to use a similar design, and I don't think that process is going to take away any of the development time. Should be something we see fine-tuned throughout the next year. The battles seem to be very cinematic, as a fellow content creator would say. The Archduke is seen mounted on a chocobo, alongside Joshua and the other knight dude from the previous trailer, as they get ready for battle, and the monologue states that they need to move now. A Lancer enemy in the next scene approaches the Imperial throne, saying that the chaos they would reap will send all of Valencia into the abyss, basically stating he's not agreeing with any of this shit that's going on in front of him. The narrator, who is speaking right now, talks about how they unite the dominants, as this scene of sex is showcased to us. It's pretty dark, so I had to enhance the image. It's kind of hard to tell who is who in this photo. Maybe this is older Clive and Benedicta, who is the Garuda mommy dominant, or is this the Archduke and his wife? Or is this the Archduke and Garuda mommy? And is this maybe a hint towards her being related to Clive? So many questions from this angle, guys. In the comments right now, please let me know what you all think about this. In actuality, this mystery man is someone that we've already seen before, but we do not know a name. He is from the initial trailer and can be seen talking with Garuda mommy in that small council meeting. After putting this into perspective, you can sort of see a tension between this guy and Benedicta. He refuses to look at her as she leaves, while the woman behind him stares at her every step. Once she walks through the door leaving, he glances over and then shakes his head, maybe squeezing in one last look at that ass. Maybe this sex scene took place before this meeting and he realizes that she betrayed him. Or they could probably be doing this on a regular. but the hair matches up perfectly for him, especially with how his hair lifts up towards the neck area at the bottom. I guess she really was bending his dick. The unknown figure points to the kingdom underneath the mountain peak, and it cuts to a battle scene of a war unfolding. They're also casting magic attacks mid-battle as well, which is pretty nice to see. There's a lot of blood in this scene, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting some really seriously good Game of Thrones vibes here. A new character is introduced to us named Hugo. He is the dominant of Titan and represents the Dhalmekia. Older Clive is quickly shown in a battle against Hugo, as he is channeling some of Titan's armor to deflect some of the moves. So, these two come into contact in what seems to be a human form battle, and possibly will be involved in a summon icon battle later on. The music kicks in and we get shots of Titan versus Shiva from the initial trailer reveal, but fine-tuned and the lighting was changed. Shiva even smirks a bit before throwing out the ice spikes in this new trailer. Bahamut and Odin are in a battle, which is taking place during the same time as that war. The battlefield of humans is right below them, and we see Ifrit and Phoenix finally duking it out as well. Phoenix gets taken out in what seems to be a one-shot from Hellfire. Rip. Quite possibly a scripted battle because Ifrit seemed to be losing, and then Phoenix just seems to get decimated, and health bar gets deleted. Titan and Ifrit are fighting right now, then it switches to a battle with Ifrit versus an unnamed icon. At first glance, many would think it is Titan because of the size, but with a totally different avatar from what Titan has, and a bunch of question marks in the names. It's definitely not Titan, especially since the shot before this showcases Titan and its avatar. It very well could be Golem, a summon that we have not seen since Final Fantasy XII on Nintendo DS, but has appeared in Final Fantasies V and VI as well. This makes sense with it being an earth element like Titan due to the avatar color in the background, and the long limbs and giant size just overall makes sense. Ramuh is finally showcased and is channeling up a judgment bolt. It looks like the enemy Shiva at this point is called Liquid Flame, and they're casting diamond dust on us, since we do have Phoenix equipped. Garuda and Ifrit are in a cinematic battle where Garuda proceeds to charge up a gale and full on blows off, dismembering the right arm of Ifrit. Ifrit's blood appears to be blue where the limb used to be. This is a callback to the DNA shifting scene, where it seems like their insides are blue and also sometimes their eyes. So it adds to what the narrator was saying earlier about dominants are being changed by icons physically, mentally, and internally, basically. Also, Ifrit has a green health bar, which means we are controlling him, which would lead us to believe what was rumored all along, that Clive is in fact Ifrit. Bahamut and Odin are facing off in the middle of that war battlefield where the narrator says there will be losses. This is true, but for every citizen who falls, another can be bred in its place. Basically telling everybody, yo, we're gonna clap some cheeks and repopulate. Shiva does a badass ice spear attack which decimates the battlefield of men. What looks like Dhalmekian army men are also now being taken out by fire. Bahamut charges up a mega flare against Ifrit, and the stray beams scare off townsfolk nearby as they look onward. This portion's narrator is shown and is possibly the leader of the Holy Empire of Sanbreque, since he does say the Empire will live on, and their kingdom is the only one with the name Empire in it. Their icon's name is still hidden from the official Final Fantasy XVI website too, so we don't know what that could be. That guy very well could be Ramuh. The trailer reaches a very hype moment as the music choir picks back up, naming all the icons we have seen while showing some of who the dominants are. We get Phoenix showing Joshua, Titan showing Hugo, Garuda Mami showing Benedicta, Ramuh, who is unknown but possibly the narrator and leader of Sanbreque, Shiva, whose dominant is also unknown. We have Odin, Bahamut, and Ifrit mentioned, and also have unknown dominants. The camera zooms in on Ifrit's eye, and specifically its left eye is glowing bright red orange, or yellow, which is an important detail. We see the game's title, and we hear an unknown voice saying to awaken, child of fate, awaken Ifrit, while we see a brooding Clive holding his right arm. But then a battle sequence shows up to confuse us. We see Ifrit charging forward to punch an icon, and it's also none other than another Ifrit. But one key thing here is this Ifrit that we see the camera focus on has a blue eye, whereas the previously evil one had a bright orange eye, meaning the blue-eyed Ifrit is Clive. He is battling the evil Ifrits, and finally we are shown the release date window for this game, and sadly it is summer 2023. We have to wait a whole year, guys, but this is not bad at all. The game's pretty much completed, as they said. You could play through the whole entire thing from start to finish. All they have to focus on now is polishing and working out bugs, UI, HUD details, etc. And who knows, maybe they could pull out a Xenoblade 3 and release it earlier. That all depends though on how this whole process goes with polishing, of course. One very interesting detail I also noticed is some icons have blue eyes while others do not. Phoenix has bright glowing blue eyes, Titan as well has blue eyes, Ramu has blue eyes, Shiva as well, Odin too, and Clive's Ifrit has blue eyes. Then we have Garuda with yellow eyes, Bahamut with yellow eyes, and Evil Ifrit with yellow eyes. In the very beginning of the trailer, it looks like Titan is transforming, and in the middle of this transformation, his eyes are yellow as well. There's also another moment where Titan is charging up a big attack, maybe Gaia's Wrath, and his eyes also turn yellow, with a hint of red for anger. What are the significances with this? I've yet to know concrete information. Very simply, it could just mean that the blue eyes are indicating Clive is in control, and that's about it. Bahamut also has moments where his eyes are blue, insinuating that these are moments where Clive is controlling him. So, that makes sense. Even though Final Fantasy XVI is about 1 year away from releasing, we can expect every month going forward to have updates on the process and more story details revealed to us, similar to what they did with Final Fantasy VII Remake when they initially showed it to us in 2019. We're in for exciting times, guys. Be sure that you're all subscribed and hit that notification bell. The month of June is primed and ready for big reveals. Up next is the Summer Games Fest main event. The opening with State of Play was a very smart choice today, and by far one of the most hype ones we have witnessed so far. Final Fantasy VII's 25th year anniversary event is sometime this month, and don't worry, we will have you all locked in and ready for that one. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy videos are coming your way and you won't want to miss them. My name is Blitz and thanks for watching.